Greetings, royal queens and kings. We are here today to discuss some hot topics, and we are going to address a few things. And the title of this live is Are We Not Going to Address the Get Lit Culture? The Bobby and Whitney 4.0, Ike and Tina Toxic Marriage. It seems like that is being praised nowadays. Well, we have a lot to get into, so let's get into it.
Girls say we want it. Girls can't never say how. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say how. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Oh nah. Give it to me like you need it, baby. Want you to hear me screaming, have it breathing. I don't need a reason, baby. I want it till you can't fight. I can get it to you right, baby. I wanna be healing. I can be real good. We don't get these feelings. Hey, I need some love.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming out today. I really appreciate you for your loyalty. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe. And also, if you are the replay gang, I want to thank you for watching the video. First up on the docket, we have Johnny Blaze. And Johnny Blaze went on Megan James' channel and she did an interview. And so the Shade Room had posted Megan James speak out after having Johnny Blaze take a drug test during a recent interview. Why y'all wasn't this mad at Judge Mathis? So Megan James decided to call out Johnny Blaze on allegations of using. You know, me as a recovering addict child to be called out for using a drug, it's like, are you serious? Like, I've overcome this powerful substance and you think that I would go back? So Megan James made a post. She says, y'all are always quick to say something, but y'all never know what goes on behind the scenes. Girls be so fake, and this is why I don't do favors. Johnny hit me up 5,000 times asking me to interview her, and would also hit up mutual friends to ask if I would interview her. So upon dropping her single with Neo, she asked me again. And I was like, okay, so let's go ahead. Oops. Let's go ahead and get into the interview. I have to scroll back down to my place. See, so okay, let me go down because this kind of got like out of control. So without further ado, let's go ahead and press play.
Is this the same guy that we gotta take this pregnancy test for? I mean,
Probably.
what's his name?
Who?
Drug test man.
No, it's not him.
But what's his name? Drug test man.
One of them nights.
Wait, the drug test guy, your ex-boyfriend.
Who?
What's his name? So I can say it right. Okay, we don't know. We don't know drug test
Oh,
guy.
the TPO. The one that put a TPO on. Oh, I know.
Alarm.
Be petty and stream.
You should. Why not?
Take that phone real quick, D. Go ahead and cop that little Indian spot right there. It's 267.
And we got to start in 4 minutes so
Oh, no,
that we
it's
get our
dead.
good 30
So you might
minutes
have
in.
to go over there with it. Go ahead and take a little pillow and sit over there. I need
Alright.
you right now.
Okay,
I'm
let's
about
get
to
started,
tell you.
Johnny,
I'm
and
about
then
to
they
tell
could
you,
just
sir.
send it over to you. You could talk to them. They could be part of the audience.
Open it. 260. Hold on. 260-7555. Go to TikTok.
Okay, so I have a problem with that. You know, you invite me out to an interview And then you are sitting there with the drug test. Can you take this drug test before we? Who's that dude that you were? What's the dude? The drug test dude? I mean, so tacky, so classless. Megan James, you are a problem when it comes to Black media. I feel like some of us, we drop the ball and we feed into the narrative of what society paints us as. And so when you talk about a young lady, yes, what if she had a drug problem? Um, what did you try to do to help her in that situation? Let's talk about it. Because it seems like if Johnny was drug free, then a person can relapse. A person can relapse. So, speaking of relapses and out of control habits, let's go ahead and let's speak about Whitney Houston. Okay. Whitney Houston's drug use, the tragic story. Without further ado, I'll just go ahead and bring up the audio and we could just take a listen, right? This is an informative, this is fair use, and everybody buckle down, get comfortable, and let's learn together.
Drug use. The tragic story. Updated November 23, 2022. The late Whitney Houston is a pop culture icon, so much so that even without using her last name, people know who you're referring to. Her legendary vocals have left a lasting mark on the music industry, even in the wake of her tragic death in 2012. While her life looked glamorous to an outsider, Whitney struggled with substance abuse and addiction that ultimately resulted in her passing. It's critical to shine a light on Whitney Houston's addiction and the brave battles with addiction that public figures are fighting to start a positive conversation around seeking help if you need it. The incredible life of Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston was an American singer born in New Jersey in 1963. Her voice is her legacy, and she released the first of 4 iconic albums at the young age of 22 in 1985, starting off strong with 3 singles hitting #1. Whitney was born into a musical family, with both her mother and her cousin being notable gospel singers. Her mother, Cissy Houston, was the reason Whitney began singing gospel music in church from a young age. The way the congregation reacted to her voice instilled confidence in Whitney and led to her passion for pursuing music as a career. "I think I knew then that my singing ability was an infectious thing that God had given me," she told Diane Sawyer in an interview. It was in 1992 that Whitney married Bobby Brown, and at this time, her career began to derail as a result of substance abuse. The pair ultimately divorced in 2007, but their relationship was thought to be toxic, tumultuous, and a significant influence in Whitney's drug addiction. Whitney Houston died on February 11, 2012. The official autopsy report declared her cause of death as accidental drowning, heart disease, and cocaine use. Whitney Houston addiction. In her own words, Whitney Houston's addiction was not always in the public eye, and for a long time, it was a topic of speculation. While cocaine use played a role in her death, Houston once spoke about the fact that her addiction and drug use were not intended as methods of self-harm. "I can tell you that I am not self-destructive. I'm not a person who wants to die. I'm a person who has life, who wants to live. And I always have. And I wouldn't mistake it for anything else other than that," she told Diane Sawyer in 2000 during an interview on Primetime. Houston's love for life and simultaneous struggles with addiction make her death as a result of cocaine use even more tragic. In a 2009 Oprah interview, Whitney spoke about her prior drug use. The singer went through 3 rehab stints in 2004, 2005, and one final time in 2011. "We were lacing our marijuana with base. We weren't on crack. We weren't on no crack stuff," Houston told Oprah. "We weren't buying $20 jumbos. We were paying money. We were buying kilos and ounces. We would have our stash." When Oprah asked Whitney if using drugs provided her with relief, she replied, "At times. Don't forget, there were some times we'd laugh our tails off. We had a ball. Sometimes you do have a good time. But when it gets to the point where you're sitting in your home and you're just trying to cover what you don't want people to know, it's painful. And then you want more just so that you don't let anybody see you cry. Or anybody to see we're not happy. While she openly discussed her prior drug use in the 2009 interview, when Oprah asked Whitney if she was currently drug-free, Houston replied, "Yes, ma'am. I mean, why no? Don't think that doesn't mean I don't have desires for it. There are times it take a minute to cleanse, get off me, I have to pray it away." Houston speaking so candidly about her ongoing struggles with addiction is an important message to share. While a stint in rehabilitation or therapy can get you clean and sober, addiction is a mental illness that doesn't simply go away. Though it can be managed to ensure you live an enriching life, it's common for individuals struggling with addiction to relapse and to battle with the constant push and pull of the desire for the feeling substances give you. What was reported in Whitney Houston's toxicology report? After the singer's death, her autopsy revealed that the cause of death was drowning and listed other contributing factors as atherosclerosis and cocaine use. The toxicology report revealed that her system contained cocaine, Xanax, Flexeril, marijuana, and Benadryl. The report listed a substance found in the singer's liver called cocaethylene, which is formed when the individual uses both cocaine and alcohol. The coroner's report also stated that drug paraphernalia was found in the singer's hotel bathroom where she died, and an open bottle of champagne and beers were found in the room itself. After the toxicology report was released, headlines were quick to mention that the singer's system contained a cocktail of drugs and alcohol, but the coroner made it clear that the cocaine was the one contributing factor to her death along with her heart disease and drowning. Did the singer suffer from trauma? Many people with substance use disorders have experienced or witnessed trauma in their past. Trauma is frequently a contributing factor in the development of an alcohol or drug abuse problem, and the distress that it triggers typically remains a trigger to abuse drugs or alcohol until the individual is able to manage it. According to biographical details about Houston's childhood, she and her brother were allegedly sexually abused by a family member when they were children. However, the abuse was hushed up. Childhood trauma leaves someone at increased risk for developing a drug and alcohol problem. The fact that Houston did not get therapy at a young age or even confide the abuse in her mother very likely left her with immense unresolved emotions related to her traumatic past. However, the singer's traumatic experiences were not contained by her childhood. Those close to her have revealed how criticisms about her image left her feeling vulnerable and disheartened. Houston had often been accused of whitewashing herself by the African American community for her image and career choices. Her marriage to Bobby Brown was incredibly tumultuous, as evidenced by repeated headlines about his infidelities. Houston's assistant reported how driven she was to keep her family together. Even so, the stress of ongoing career and family struggles could easily be viewed through the lens of trauma. Houston did not lead a life of calm and serenity. Of course, many people do not, but for someone with unresolved trauma and addictions, that trauma remains a powerful trigger to use and keep using. Ups and downs of Houston's career. The trauma Houston suffered as a child may explain why the talented singer gravitated to drugs and alcohol. Her career, with its ups and downs, may also have impacted her substance abuse problems. After all, work stress is also a contributing factor for drug and alcohol abuse. It's not uncommon for people working in certain industries and careers to be at increased risk for developing an alcohol or drug abuse problem. As a celebrity, Houston would very likely have come into contact with other celebrities, i.e., such as her husband, who used drugs and alcohol. But proximity to addictive substances alone wasn't the only risk Houston faced as a world-famous performer. Her own career with its achievements and failures also likely affected her substance abuse problem. Houston's career began to decline as news about her drug use emerged in headlines. Her marriage with its violence and infidelity also began to redefine her image. Having been treated to a squeaky clean Houston brand for so long, many people were surprised and dismayed by Houston's actual lifestyle once it surfaced. In many respects, she never regained a positive image with the mainstream public again. That fall from grace would have been stressful if not traumatic to contend with. Putting addiction into the spotlight. In the same 2009 interview with Oprah, the talk show host asked Whitney if she thought she'd be tempted to return to drug use again in the future. "Oprah, I can only take today, one day at a time, one day at a time. Right now, no," Houston said. This honest response highlights the short-term mindset that can be integral to recovering from and managing addiction. It's a daily choice you make to resist the urge to use. There's no permanent recovery solution, but rather an ongoing process of monitoring and managing your mental health so you can live the life you want to. With professional support, it's possible to make these daily choices over the long term. Whitney evidently returned to cocaine use in 2012, with it playing a role in her tragic and untimely death. As a legend in her own right, Houston inspires millions of people around the world to pursue their musical dreams, but her message now runs even deeper. In her wisdom, Whitney taught that it's okay to speak out about addiction and it's a positive thing to seek professional help. She also led by example in knowing that recovery is an ongoing process that requires continual commitment. If you're struggling, seek professional support. If you're dealing with drug addiction or substance abuse, you're not alone. At FHE Health, we can help you create a treatment plan and support you through recovery to get back on track. Whether you're struggling with drug addiction, behavioral addiction, or alcohol addiction, our team is here for you. Call us today at 833-596-3502. We can take your call 24/7.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I will be putting this information in the chat. If anybody is struggling with any type of addiction, you guys know that I have been very open and vulnerable about my use. It is a daily fight, or it's a choice. You know, you it's a fight daily, because you can have a good day, you can have a not so good day, and you could think, oh my God, it would be so wonderful if I could just go use right now and really get out of this reality and feel better. But what you fail to realize is once you go in there and use, you kind of throw away all the hard work that you put in to get to where you are as far as your sobriety. Help is available. I did want to mention that we do have the Queen Tulsa hotline. The number is posted 405-437-4865. We do have a hotline available. You can text me, you can call me. I am not a professional. However, I am a recovering addict and I walk into my purpose. And I want you guys to mark my words. One day I'll have a recovery home to where we'll have resources to provide to those out there in need. All right. So with that being said, sorry about that. With that being said, I wanted to go ahead and cover the story of football player Deion Sanders III has went to glory. Actually, no, we'll save his for next. But I did well. Actually, let me go ahead and bring Deion Sanders up. Okay, so Deion Sanders went to glory, and I want to send my condolences out to the Sanders family. Being that it's a lot, guys. It's a lot. Here we are. Here we are. Okay. New details emerge in death of Ravens Hall of Famer Ray Lewis' son. Ray Lewis III. Did I say Deion Sanders? Oh my goodness. I didn't say Deion Sanders. Y'all got to forgive me. I do recant that it is not Deion Sanders. It is Ray Lewis III. Oh, geez. Okay. Let me get off of this. Okay. So, the tragic news that Ray Lewis III, the son of Baltimore Ravens Hall of Fame linebacker Ray Lewis, has died. Has died. Oh my goodness. The tragic news that Ray Lewis III, the son of Baltimore Ravens Hall of Fame linebacker Ray Lewis, has died broke earlier this week. He was just 28 years old. And now it looks like we know what have caused his death. TMZ says a police report says that Lewis III of a suspected died of a suspected accidental overdose. According to the site, police say the responded they responded to a call for a medical emergency and found Lewis III unresponsive and receiving CPR from a friend. The site said the report said another friend was screaming for Narcan, a drug used to treat overdose. Police said that Lewis III was lying undressed between a bed and a wall in the room, and that they received Narcan, but Lewis III did not respond. Police said they searched Lewis's room, the third's room, and found a blue pill near him, which they said was alpro, alpro, alprazolam. That they said they also found a used needle and a small plastic bag inside of a beer can. Although police said in the report they suspect accidental overdose, as TMZ noted, the medical examiner will make the official determination as to what caused his death. Ray Lewis has yet to speak publicly about his son's death, but his other son, Rashawn, made a social media post following his brother's death. Really can't believe I'm even typing this, but RIP, big brother, a true angel. I pray you're at peace now because I know how you was really hurting. I don't and won't ever have the words, man, because this pain right here. I love you, I love you, I love you. Lewis III recently played for the Wyoming Mustangs in the Champions Indoor Football League, according to the site, and was pursuing a music career. So, like I said, prayers and condolences to the family and all involved. Next on the agenda is going to be Jocelyn Hernandez and her significant other. Um, Blizz, Blitz and husband. Ballistic. Okay. So you all know that there was a situation that happened at the Floyd Mayweather's public professional fight, right? And so you had Jocelyn there and Ballistic. Well, DJ Ballistic Beats marital status is unmarried, but he is not single at all. DJ actually dating Jocelyn Hernandez for some years, but in 2020 they got engaged, and they will tie the knot very soon. As of 2023, DJ's previous relationship history is not available, and he is not married or engaged to Jocelyn Hernandez. So a lot of people on social media went up in flames about this man protecting his woman. And there's this culture of people, they'd rather pick up their phone and start recording rather than helping de escalate the situation. Okay. Follow me here. There were plenty of big, strong men that looked like they were on steroids, pumping iron, As you can see right here, you have this big burly black man, big arms, looks very much so at ease, and watching as this white woman, Jocelyn Hernandez, because that's how she identifies, as a white woman, is on this black woman. And you have a security guard right here, a white man. Doesn't look like he's very interested in breaking anything up. And then you have Jocelyn's boyfriend right here, Ballistic, with his lace front unit braided back. As you can see in this moment, it's giving me the clip of you better get down and dirty or it's going to be not a nice ride home. Mhm. Jocelyn Hernandez was in a brawl with Big Lex backstage at the Floyd Mayweather versus John Gotti fight. The brawl in Miami worked throughout an entire backstage area, with Hernandez getting the best of Big There's a lot of black men, content creators that are really rooting it up. They were excited. This is a power couple that they look up to. A white woman that dabbles in blackness when it's convenient for her, and a big black man. I don't know what his ethnicity is, but a man encouraging a woman to go in on a woman. Well, I think his name says it all. Ballistic Beats. I mean, Beats by Dre. Do you see where I'm going with this? Ballistic gives me the knockoff of Jason Lee. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So he's mixed. I wonder what he's mixed with. And he's a Christian. Here, let me bring this up for the Christians. Hold on. Give me 1 second. For all the Christians in the building, uh-huh. This is what happens. They go and sing their praises at the altar. And when church is not in session, this is the type of activities that they get into. His name is Ricardo Lemaire. Nickname is DJ Ballistic Beats. He was born September 12th, 1984. He's 38. He's a Virgo, American, mixed Christian. Oh, love life affairs. DJ Ballistic Beats marital status is unmarried, but he is not single at all. DJ actually dating Jocelyn Hernandez for some years, but in 2020 they got engaged. How long are you going to stay engaged? How comfortable are you guys staying engaged? We need to know. I would like you guys' feedback on this couple and what they are bringing to the television screen. Do you agree with it? Do you not? Do you feel like what Jocelyn did at the Mayweather fight was acceptable? Do you think that Zeus Network is making the culture better? Are they helping the culture or are they hindering the culture? Well, guys, I want to thank you all for coming by to the Queen Tulsa show. We will be back live here this evening. Thank you for taking out the time to watch, listen, and hear. I am making the best of my current circumstances and situations, but I will not fail you. I will not let you down. And guys, please send up a special prayer because I want to open up a recovery center. I'm going to need a lot of support. I'm a recovering addict. I believe I can help people that are struggling with addictions, just with my testimony. The year of 2012, I had an overdose, and that was the year that Whitney Houston went to glory. And so I want to make sure I'm doing my due diligence. I asked if I asked the Lord if He'll bless me, I'll be a blessing to others. And so I just want to be obedient and I want to continue to walk in my purpose and I'm walking into my calling. And my relationship with the Lord and the higher power has gotten stronger. So there will be a different walk. You guys may not notice me. You guys may look at me and say, "Oh my God, who is Queen Tulsa?" Well, I just want to say, walk in your purpose, stand in your truth, and always acknowledge the higher power. On that note, ladies, we need some love. So long.
Girls need love, yeah. Girls need love, girls need love. It takes something. Girls need love, girls need love. Girls need love, yeah. Girls need love. So what's a girl to do? Man? She needs love. Girls need love. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say yeah. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say how. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say now. Oh, nah. Give it to me like you need it, baby. Want you to hear me screaming, have it breathing. I don't need a reason, baby. No one until you get by. I can get it to you right, baby. I wanna be healing. I can be real good. We don't get these feelings. Hey, I need some love.